Yo, what's good, fellas? It's your guy Six Paths Dunga back again with another chapter review. In my opinion, this chapter set up so much events to occur in the future of TBV VORTEX, and it also introduced some new interesting interactions between some of the most important characters in the series, like Boruto and Kawaki, as well as Code and Jura. So let's not waste time with the introductions and whatnot. Let's just hop right into this review. But first, let me thank all of you for 8K subscribers. We hit it on stream a few days ago, and honestly, I'm just grateful to be a part of a community like this. I know this is only the beginning. Our real goal is to hit 10K before January, so I guess the grind continues then. But yeah, thanks for 8K, it really means a lot. And yeah, video time, let's go. Now, I'm pretty sure like 90% of you guys already know the title of chapter 15 is the Shinju Ryu, the Shinki clone, and the title of the chapter is A Fulfilling Life. I'm not too crazy on the cover. I mean, it is what it is. It's just showing off the new Shinju. I mean, I like it. It serves its purpose, so it's whatever. Now, chapter 15 starts off in an instant flashback to the battle between Gaara and his adopted children versus Matsuri. And if you don't remember, Matsuri is the Moegi clone. So it seems Matsuri running into Gaara and the others was a pure coincidence. She says she was originally following the traces of Boruto and his unknown ally, which is Kashin Koji. She doesn't really care about Gaara and the others, as they weren't a part of their original goal. It does make sense why Gaara could possibly run into Matsuri, but it might have to be further elaborated why it was in Orochimaru's old hideout that Koji was in. I mean, there are a lot of possible explanations to that. The hideout was located on the outskirts of the Land of Wind, so it is relatively close to Sunagakure. However, my only question is, was they in search because of Koji being there? Or was it because of the Shinju lurking in their country? More specifically, what brought them to the hideout to fight Matsuri in the first place? But as expected, the fight was more of them just trying to stay alive than actually fighting her. As we all know at this point, the Shinju's current power level is just far superior to any of the 5 Kage, meaning most villages besides Konoha would just get obliterated if they find themselves in such a situation to where they would have to go to battle against one of the Shinju. It's good that they don't show too much interest in other hidden villages, or else it'll probably be the end for that village. This fight was just shown for us to see how Shinki was turned into a tree, and it's just like how we all thought. He was trying to protect Gaara from being killed and ended up getting caught off guard and attacked by one of the claw grimes. And although he was turned into a tree, he succeeded in protecting Gaara because he managed to seal him using his iron sand before Matsuri or one of the claw grimes got to him and turned Gaara into a tree. So yeah, originally it was supposed to be Gaara, but Shinki stepped up and sacrificed himself to ensure his father's safety. So with the other 2 children of Gaara escaping, Shinki is now turned into a tree, and Gaara is gravely injured and trapped in an iron sand seal, only to be undone by Shinki himself. After the mini flashback, now we're back in the present day with Kankuro explaining the situation to Shikamaru, and he explains how the only way to save Gaara is by saving Shinki, because like I just said like 30 seconds ago, the only person who can undo the seal is Shinki. Shikamaru, who's learned more about the situation, instantly asked if they detected a being with the same chakra signature as Shinki. And even though they didn't have a clue what he was talking about, Shikamaru still knew there was a huge possibility that the Shinju have already added a new member. So he's already ahead of the curve on the situation because of the knowledge he gained the past few chapters. So then he orders Sarada and Sumire to gather as much information from Boruto as possible on the situation, as well as inform him on the current situation in Sunagakure if he didn't already learn it firsthand from Kashin Koji. From the interrogation they held for Boruto last chapter, they know he held out certain information regarding Naruto and Hinata's whereabouts, and about his secret alliance with Koji. So they still think he might be hiding something on the Shinju, something that could be proven very useful for the survival of Konoha. And like I stated in the beginning of the video, the chapter emphasizes on new relationships and new opportunities for the series to build on. So what we see here is Jura talking with the new Shinju, introducing him as Ryu. But then the new Shinju instantly shows us his abilities by using his iron sand to reveal and drag out a hiding code who hasn't been seen for 11 chapters, I kid you not. And you can go back and check the live stream. My reaction when I seen Code was back was at first a little excited, but then that excitement went away as soon as I realized he tried to actually fight Jura. Well, first of all, I don't want to turn this into a video of me slandering Code, but I do have some things to say about him, similar to how I explained my frustrations with him on stream. So Ryu pulls out Code from that claw mark cube thingy, and the Shinju were wondering what on earth is he doing spying on them. So Code goes ahead and asks them if they're planning to devour the OTSUTSUKI, and when he learns that that's not their priority right now, it's like he gets even more pissed off. So it's like you was expecting them to defeat and devour Boruto and Kawaki because you couldn't do it yourself. And when you learn that things didn't go your way, you get mad? I can handle all the L's that Code takes. Sure, he just doesn't win his fights, and that's fine for real. But this is a new low. Like, this is some real loser energy right here. Code still doesn't know his place. His character is at a point to where his own creations are ordering him around. He's still being used by others. It's like what Masudi told him in chapter 4. His only destiny is to be a clown used by someone else. Honestly, when she said this to Code, I had thought it would act as a catalyst for Code's character to start to change a bit. Not a sudden change, but maybe spark an internal conflict between him and himself, and that would be what he needs to gradually change him for the better. But I see he's still carrying on that delusion of him eating the chakra fruit and becoming the new OTSUTSUKI. And it's the fact that he really explained this to Jura. It was then he put himself in a bad situation, because his response made it seem like he wanted the chakra fruit for himself. So, of course, Code, as the crash out he is, he took defense and tried to attack Jura. And it really didn't go that good for him. Like, so easily. Without even removing his hands from his pockets or even showing any sign of worry, he just blows Code's hand clean off. We know from Ada that the Shinju are more than what Code can handle, but the gap between them is wider than I thought. Or maybe I should be more specific and say the gap between Jura and Code, because we all know Jura is the strongest out the bunch, but the gap between them is completely night and day. After this chapter, I think I can safely put Jura at the top of the verse, and I might have to put him above Damon until proven otherwise. I will make a video on Code and another video giving Jura some light too, because I was the one who said Jura lacked the appropriate feats to put him at the top of the verse. But I think I have enough now to confidently put him up there, especially after this chapter, and you'll find out exactly why soon enough. So here goes Code being used again, but this time by Jura. He introduces a deal to Code, a deal that entails him killing both Boruto and Kashinkoji, and if he can do that, then he can have the chakra fruit for himself. So this is actually crazy for two reasons. I won't dive too deep into it because, like I just said, I want this to be the topic for my next video, but the fact that Code actually believes he can kill Boruto as he is right now, it's kind of crazy. Like, it's kind of insane. It's to the point where we gotta ask ourselves, how will he get stronger? He already had his limiters removed, and he couldn't even touch Boruto last time they fought. How exactly will Code make this work? I just don't see how unless he catches Boruto while he's already weakened. It just seems like a fool's bet. The other thing that's crazy is how Jura is just not concerned about Code eating the chakra fruit. It's like the idea of Code getting stronger doesn't concern him at all. He might think he's so far above Code that even him becoming an OTSUTSUKI wouldn't even matter. And I just think that's insane. So after this pointless negotiation between Code and Jura, Code leaves again, probably in search of Boruto and Koji to quote unquote kill them, and we lock back in on Ryu. Jura tells him to look within himself, follow his instinct, and find out who's his target. And it's what everyone, including myself, thought it would be. The 5th Kazekage, Gaara. And what makes it even worse is because Ryu can use the Iron Sand, naturally being a clone of Shinki, he can break the seal used to keep Gaara safe. So he can get to him, and honestly, there's not really anyone that could stop him, unless Boruto or someone destroys him fast. Gaara is the easiest target. I think we really might see a scenario where one of the Shinju actually devours their target, or something really close to it. Now that we settled everything regarding of what's happening outside of Konoha, we're gonna fast forward to the most interesting part of the chapter, or at least in my opinion. From last chapter, Boruto has escaped from the interrogation room using the flying Raijin technique, and it seems like he flew to Naruto's Hokage monument. Since Kawaki is like the only person in the village who can sense Boruto's chakra signature, even if he's hiding it, he easily finds Boruto, but instead of attacking him, he comes to just talk. Kawaki wanted to find out what Boruto was plotting. Since he didn't snitch on Kawaki to the village elders about the true whereabouts of Naruto and Hinata, he kept Kawaki standing in Konoha secure for now. So you can tell this kind of piqued his interest in a way. This conversation between Boruto and Kawaki is just what we needed, because it really set the series in the right direction. Kawaki asks Boruto what happened to Momoshiki, something we all been wondering ourselves for the past 15 chapters. We haven't seen him not once in the entire time skip. In him being one of the major characters, it's something we need to know in ASAP. So Boruto says the last time Momoshiki tried to take over his body was against Code 2 years ago. I'm guessing the karma activated and then he felt Momoshiki was about to take over his body. Since then he hasn't used his karma, not even once. So now it looks like he's in a weird situation. His control over the karma has gotten so bad that just the slightest activation can trigger an awakening of Momoshiki. And since then, Momoshiki has been quiet. So it's been 3 years since Boruto even heard from Momoshiki, which is not good. He could be planning something bad. But that's something they're gonna have to put on the back burner for now, because the most important thing is getting rid of the Shinju. And Boruto and Kawaki knows that, and they know they can't handle the situation alone. Boruto even goes on to say that Jura is too much to handle by himself. So he's relying on Kawaki's strength now more than ever. And this is where I said, like, yeah, I can put Jura at the top of the verse now. You got Boruto saying, yeah, I just don't think I could take that guy alone. Like, there's no way I could do that. It's like, dang, okay, Jura might be a problem, like literally. And I don't think Boruto feels the same way against any of the other Shinju, especially since he has an attack like the Uzuhiko, which can basically one-shot any of the Shinju if it made direct contact. But he was like, yeah, Jura, that guy, I can't mess with him. If I can't land the Uzuhiko on him because he can fly, there's just nothing I can do. And to me, that's actually crazy. So yeah, Jura might be at the top of the verse. Who knows? Like, he's just that crazy strong. So yeah, Boruto goes on to say, Kawaki, I need your power. And after we take care of the Shinju, if Momoshiki takes over my body again, you can kill me or whatever you please to do. But for now, Kawaki, you have to get stronger, and you have to get stronger fast. And the key to making that happen isn't training or anything, because how things are going right now, there isn't any time for training. However, what you can do is go to Amato. Boruto tells Kawaki that Amato is hiding his true power. It seems Amato placed a limiter on Kawaki's attack capabilities, as well as adjusted his defense and regeneration capabilities to ensure he stays alive. He needs Kawaki alive so he can use his karma to resurrect his deceased daughter. He was only anticipating a Code level threat, but now that we have enemies way stronger than Code, the limiters have to come off if Kawaki wants to stand any chance of staying alive. And I'm pretty sure Amato wouldn't even fight him on this, he would just remove his limiters. If he wants Kawaki to stay alive, the best option he has is to just take off the limiters. If Kawaki still agrees to help Amato get his daughter back, then there's no reason for Amato to just be like, nah, I can't remove the limiters. Especially if he knows that if he doesn't, Kawaki will be devoured by the Shinju. So yeah, expect a major Kawaki power up in the next coming chapters. But speaking of Amato, he's listening in on this conversation, and it seems he even been wondering how Boruto is getting this information. We know it's Koji feeding him this info, but everyone but Boruto thinks Koji died in his battle against Ishiki. But the toad that Kawaki found could have revealed that he's still alive, which actually isn't good because not only is the Shinju looking for Koji, but Konoha might be looking to give him some attention too. And if it's found out that Koji has an ability such as prescience that lets him see directly into the future, it could be trouble. So to end the chapter, Kawaki agrees that they first need to deal with these annoying Shinjus, and then they can deal with the whole OTSUTSUKI problem. So Kawaki agrees to get his limiters removed to help Boruto fight against the Shinju. And just like that, the new alliance of Boruto and Kawaki has been cemented. And the direction of the story yet again takes a major turn. So many new narratives have been introduced just from this chapter alone, and it's gonna be so much more going on. Honestly, it's just so much more to keep up with. Code and Jura's contract, Ryu and Gaara, now Boruto and Kawaki, the story just turned up again. This chapter to me is like a 9 out of 10. I loved it, I loved reading it, and now I can't wait until the next chapter drops. I'm as invested in the story as I ever was, and now I can honestly say this was like a top 5 chapter. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Did you enjoy chapter 15? And if you did, what would you rate it 1 out of 10? As always, if you enjoyed the video and would like to see more content like this in the near future, then don't forget to drop a like, comment, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you don't miss another video like this, or when I go live for the chapter spoilers like we do every month. And without further ado, I'll catch you boys and girls in my next video, and I'm out. Peace.